I have a lot of playlists. There's a Sonic one, an Undertale one, heck, there's even a Gotcha one. A lot of you, maybe even all of you, have probably never bothered to look at these. You might not have even known they existed, which is why I wanted to make this video. You see, I want to get rid of these, mainly because there's no real point to them. They're just sitting there collecting dust. I don't want to get rid of all of them. Stuff like the Just to Be Safe playlist, the Important, the Screen Record playlist, all of them are ones that I want to keep. It's mainly the things like the Halo playlist, the Call of Duty, the Minecraft. All of them, those are the ones that I want to get rid of. Because not only do I just not use them, but you don't use them either. So, not only are they pointless, but they're just taking up space, and I would rather have things be more organized. You might be curious as to why they're even there in the first place, and to explain that, essentially, back when I was in 5th grade, our classroom had headphones that any student could pick up and use. You were mainly supposed to use them for a video that tied into an assignment. So that way when you watch the video, none of the sound coming from the video would bother the other kids. And that's usually what people use them for, but some kids decided to use them to listen to music while they worked. I remember this one girl, Madison, she sat in front of me back in 5th grade, and I remember I was doing an assignment either on the Chromebook or on paper. I look up, she's doing something on the Chromebook, and I see that she's listening to music while doing an assignment, and I'm like so amazed by it for some reason. I'm like asking her how she did it. She simply explains that it was, well, she created another tab, went onto YouTube, searched in what song she wanted, just listened to it while she went back to the tab that her assignment was on. And so ever since that day, I did the same thing, and I still do the same thing. If you've seen any of my screen recorded videos, you'll see that I literally have some random background video on or some music playing while I do my animating. So, yeah, but the reason that ties into the whole playlist was because back when I was in 6th grade, I was listening to this one fan remix of Megalovania, which I tried to find to show you which one I was referring to, because there's a lot of Megalovania remixes, but I couldn't find it. So either I missed it or it got deleted, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it has been since 6th grade, since I last seen it, and that was back in 2020 or 2021, so yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's been deleted since that time. But anyways, I was listening to that, and I'm like, I should make a playlist that's just filled with Undertale music. And that's what I did. I made an Undertale playlist, and eventually I had this idea to just put any type of Undertale content into the playlist. And then I started doing this with other things. I made a Sonic playlist. Started playing any type of Sonic stuff in it. Basically, I was just organizing random YouTube videos into different categories. Undertale would go into Undertale, Halo would go into Halo. You know, that's basically what I did. I remember with the Friday Night Funkin' one, I kind of struggled with making it because I did this thing back then where if I wanted to get into a game, I had to find the perfect video. And I was trying to get into Friday Night Funkin' since it was like really popular back when I was in 6th grade. And I hadn't found the perfect video yet, but I really wanted to create a playlist. So I did create that playlist. I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do it anyways. But then deleted it because I'm pretty sure the Monday I created it was just not really that good. I think it was Wednesday, though, that I ended up making it again. Or maybe it was just Tuesday. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a very long time. 6 years. It's kind of hard to believe. Well, actually, probably 5 years. But, anyways, yeah, so that's basically why these playlists exist. When I made my YouTube channel, I just did the same thing, recreated the playlists, and just categorized them. I would have loved to show you the original playlist on my school account, but when I was in seventh grade, I don't know if it was because of the school or if it was because of something else, but all of my playlists were deleted, which really sucked because I remember putting a lot of time into just organizing the different videos into each playlist. I kid you not, the Friday Night Funkin' playlist that I had, I think it had like 800 something, maybe 700 something videos in it. My goodness. Meanwhile, if we look at the current Friday Night Funkin' playlist, then it only has 134. So, yeah. I eventually stopped organizing videos when I just got bored with it and realized that it was just pointless. So, yeah, that's why I don't do it anymore. So the whole point of this video is that I'm going to delete them, right? But because I put so much time into it, like back then, I want to just document the different types of videos that are in each playlist. So how this video is gonna go is that I'm just gonna have footage of me scrolling through different videos. I'll occasionally talk about maybe some of them, and when I'm not talking, I'll have some relaxing music played over it. With that being said, enjoy. Before I actually scroll down the videos, one thing I want to show you is the description. Because for some playlists, I actually had a description. For example, here it says, "What's the coolest and fastest thing alive?" Well, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. Not sure why I didn't put a period here. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's how it is with most of my other descriptions. Very strange. But anyways. I'm not sure which one of these two Sonic Centrals it was. Maybe it was neither of them. But back during my 6th grade graduation, there was a Sonic Central happening that same exact day. And since this was around the time that I was getting back into Sonic and was starting to become a major fan again, I obviously wanted to see it live. Sadly, when I was able to get out of school, my mom, grandma, and dad ended up taking me to Taco Bendito. So by the time that I got home, I sadly missed it. But it was still okay. I was able to watch it, and I think I enjoyed it. So, yeah. Here we got Sonic versus Quote. I'm honestly not sure if this thumbnail has changed because, like, when I look at this guy's other thumbnails, they're in a similar kind of like format where they have the verses in the middle, the two characters on the side, and then like the streak, the colored streak. And if we go to his older content, I mean, not all of his thumbnails have it. For example, Mario versus Supersonic versus Quote. But like with stuff like, in fact, yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure this is, like, he probably did change the thumbnail. But then there's also this video, and it just makes me question if he really did, or if this was just the Versus style thumbnail he had. I actually remember when this guy was called Squirrel Kid. In fact, his little @ thing here still says Squirrel Kid. But I guess he became a Squirrel Sensei, which, pretty cool character development. Kind of reminds me of that one Sonic.exe YouTuber, Coastes the Hedgehog or whatever. He mainly plays Sonic.exe games, but he kind of did a similar thing where at one point he was Hyper Coastes the Hedgehog, then he became Ultra Instinct Coastes the Hedgehog, then he became Mastered Ultra Instinct Coastes the Hedgehog. In fact, I think that's still what he is. Let me search him up, just to be sure. I don't even remember if I'm spelling his name correctly, but I think that's how you say it and pronounce it. If it's not how you pronounce it, then I apologize. I probably butchered it real bad. Yeah, this guy, Mastered UI Costes. Yeah, he's been in Mastered Ultra Instinct for a long time, but I remember when he was hyper. I remember when he was hyper Costes. Again, that's probably not even how you say his name. I apologize, but yeah. There's also the Sonic 30th anniversary. Can I be honest? I feel like Sonic's 30th and 31st anniversaries were like his best ones. Because, let's see, so his 30th anniversary happened in 2021. And I feel like 2021 was a good year for Sonic because wasn't that the year we got Sonic Frontiers? Or am I wrong? Let me search that up real quick. No, I was wrong. It was actually 2022. But still, like, I don't know, 2021, maybe it was because that was the year that I was getting back into Sonic, but to me, I don't know, 2021 and Sonic's whole just 30th anniversary, it's just cool, in my opinion. Actually, there was something we did get for the 30th anniversary that I actually own, and I've shown off in one of my older videos. The Sonic the Hedgehog Encyclopedia. 30 years of Sonic the Hedgehog. I still have this. It's been like, what, 3 years since my 14th birthday? And it's been like 3 years since my 14th birthday showcase, which is honestly crazy to think about because I remember my first time going to summer school was when I was 13, and I remember being super excited for my 14th birthday. I had like this whole thing planned out. I knew what gifts I wanted. I knew what in fact, I actually remember I was going to make like a whole comic and everything. It was like crazy. Never made that comic, and I'm honestly not sure why I was so excited for my 14th birthday specifically, but yeah, honestly my 14th birthday didn't really go so well. I mean, it was good, but I feel like there was too many people there. But I'm getting sidetracked. Yeah, I still have this book. I've never finished reading it, but I did read like some of it. I think I made it to like, let me see if maybe I can recognize the page. I recognize that page. I think I recognize this page. And I think maybe somewhere around here I just stopped reading. But yeah, this is one of the things that came from Sonic's 30th year anniversary, aka 2021. That was honestly really cool. But in all honesty, I think what truly made Sonic's 30th year anniversary in particular special to me was just because, again, it was like 2021 and that was around the time I was getting back into the series. So, back when I lived at my old house, it was, I believe, the last month. Because that house meant a lot to me, and YouTube also means a lot to me, I thought that the way I was gonna end my last YouTube watch was through Zach Scott's playthrough of Sonic. Because I grew up with Sonic, and I grew up watching Zach Scott. So, Zach Scott playing Sonic, I mean, it was just a perfect time, like perfect timing for when these videos came out. So, it's kind of interesting because I remember that specific day when I watched these. I woke up and I watched a full no commentary playthrough of Sonic 1. And then after that, I watched a full no commentary playthrough of Friday Night Funkin', since around that time, those were the two like biggest things that I was into. And then after I finished Friday Night Funkin', there was an upload from Community Games of like a My Hero Academia FNF mod, and I just went to watching that. But later that day, I ended up watching this video, which is, it's just weird seeing how it's 3 years ago. I remember when it said like a month ago. But anyways, yeah, I watched his playthrough, and I remember being really annoyed by how bad he was. But I mean, he had basically never played a classic Sonic game before, so you know, it's understandable. But yeah, back then I was like really mad about, well, not really mad, but definitely annoyed. But in all fairness, I was probably the same way as him when I first started playing Sonic, so yeah. I never finished the series. In fact, I think I made it to maybe episode 2 of Sonic CD, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna end it there. It's honestly kind of interesting just seeing Zach Scott's playthrough of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because when I was in second grade, I was friends with this one kid. I forgot his name, and in all honesty, the only thing I remember about him was that everybody thought he was a girl just because he had long hair. In fact, I remember this one time we were sitting in class, and we were able to, I think the boys and girls were separated into different classrooms. So when the girls got called out to go into a different class, one of my old friends, Odin, who I used to call my science buddy, mainly because he was smart, he like looked at the kid and he's like, go. And the kid's like, I'm not a girl, because he wasn't. And then, yeah, I honestly feel bad for him. And then we stopped being friends when my one friend Silas basically asked like who, he made me choose either between him or the other kid. And because Silas was my best friend, well, he is my best friend still, I obviously went with him. And honestly, I just hope that that kid's doing good. I don't think I've really ever seen him since. But yeah. Anyways, the whole point of what I'm trying to say, one time in second grade, he told me, I was talking to him about like Zach Scott because that's who I was obsessed with at the time. And he told me that apparently Zach Scott did a playthrough of Sonic 3. And I was like, no, he didn't. And he's like, yeah, he did. You should go search it up. So after school that day, I went to my grandma's house. And my grandma had YouTube. My grandma had YouTube before we ever did. And although by this point we did have YouTube, I mean, my grandma still had YouTube. So yeah, when I went to her house, went onto YouTube, started searching up Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Zack Scott games. For some reason, I didn't put any spaces. Super weird. I remember grandma asking my sister to like come and help me. She probably thought that I was trying to type something and I didn't know what I was typing. But yeah, I knew exactly what I was typing. I just didn't put any spaces for some reason. But yeah, kind of interesting. It's just weird seeing that now there is an actual Zack Scott Sonic 3 playthrough. Sonic vs. Eggman remake. I don't think, did I pass the original? Or have I just not encountered it yet? Because I do remember that animation, the original one. And then when I saw this remake, for some reason on my first viewing, I thought it was worse than the original. Like, I watched this, and I watched the original, and I'm like, yeah, the original's better. But then when I did that again, not too long after, I watched the remake and then watched the original, I was like, no, this remake's way better. So, I don't know, maybe that first time viewing was just nostalgia bias? I have no clue. But yeah, check out this remake, it's pretty good. And then if we come across the original, I'll talk about that a little bit. I'm going a little too fast, I apologize. Here we got some privated videos. I assume that these videos are Courtney Project S&T related just because they're sandwiched in between her videos. I'm not entirely sure though. I'm curious as to what they could be. Then we have this video. This was actually my first ever exposure to Courtney Project S&T, because I remember it was probably around 2021, and I was in the living room of my mom's old house, and I just saw this video in my recommendation, and the only reason why I clicked on it was because back in 3rd grade, I saw this sprite animation, and I don't remember what it was about, but I know that one of the main characters was this OC, who was apparently Shadow's sister, and I think Sonic had a crush on her or something, I'm not entirely sure. And when I saw this video, I for some reason thought that this was that same exact thing. Like the creator was talking about her Sonic OC, like that same sprite animated series. She wasn't, that's its own entirely separate thing, but yeah, honestly, pretty good video. Check out Courtney, she's pretty cool. At least last time I saw her. I haven't really watched her in a long time, so I don't know. But yeah. Got the Sonic ROM hack video. Oh, here's the original. Okay, I'll talk about that real quick. But yeah, Sonic ROM hacks. I remember when I was younger, I watched both of these videos, and I was like super confused by them because I didn't know what a ROM hack was. So I would just call these games Weird Sonic. Because in all fairness, I mean a fat Sonic is kind of weird. Extremely funny, but very weird. And very difficult too. I've actually played this ROM hack. It's very hard. Anyway, Sonic vs. Eggman. This video, I love this video so much. I never watched the original Newgrounds upload. I only watched this video. But as a kid, I mean the music, the background music that's playing, and just like the whole animation itself is just awesome in my opinion. I love it. They ended up changing the thumbnail though, because originally the thumbnail didn't look like this with like the blue background, Sonic looking at Eggman. Originally the thumbnail was more, let me see if I can find because it was a screenshot. I think it was somewhere around here. Hold on. It was somewhere around here. I think anyways. Dang. Yeah, no, I think that was it right there. Yeah, I think this was the thumbnail for the video. I think this was the original thumbnail before it got changed to this. Now, personally, this is a much better thumbnail, the new one. It just, shows Sonic, shows Eggman. It's called Sonic vs. Eggman, makes sense. But yeah, it's just interesting seeing that and it was like a recent thing too. I think they changed it back in like 2024. So, yeah, just strange overall. And then Sonic and the Dark Emeralds. This one was actually the first video in the Sonic playlist on my school account. As opposed to the Kiro Talks video that you can see right here. So yeah, I remember the original thumbnail for this featured a Sonic Advance sprite, but then they just changed it to have this more updated one. So, yeah. Oh, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric TV commercial. I remembered that. Sometimes it shocks me that it's only 11 years old. I honestly thought that it was longer. Cool commercial. Wasn't really a big fan of Sonic Boom, but yeah. Sonic Omens. I remember Sonic Omens. I remember when the first demo for that came out and like everyone was glazing it. They were like, "Oh, this is the best Sonic fan game ever. It looks like AAA quality. Sega should hire this team of developers." And then the full game came out and everybody switched up. Wasn't this game called like Sonic Project 2020 or something? I remember when it was called that. Um, and then they renamed it to Sonic Omens. And to be fair, I think the opening cutscene to Sonic Omens is pretty cool. But yeah, the gameplay itself, I mean, it's just not anything too special. So, and the developers are very weird as well. So, yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog Counter-Strike, I remember this series. I don't know if it ever got finished though. I think it got canceled. Well, maybe not. Like maybe because this is like a 4-year difference. So maybe I just never saw Act 3. Or I did and I forgot because it is in this playlist. So Lapper, I remember Lapper. Is he back? I remember like watching his videos all the time when he was active. So has he come back? No, his last upload was still 2 years ago. Dang, that sucks. I hope he does come back because I really did like his content. I thought it was really cool. Top 10 scary Sonic stories. I remember this used to scare me as a kid. Like, just some of the stories they brought up and talked about, it was like creepy. There was this one, I don't know if it's in either of these two videos, but there's this one Big the Cat story where, like, this dude is, I guess, on a call with his friend, and then, like, he's texting them, I think, and the friend's just talking crap about Big. Like, he's playing Sonic Adventure, he's playing the Big the Cat stages, he's just talking absolute crap about Big. And Big's, like, staring at him through the screen, which freaks the friend out a little bit. So the friend, you know, he kind of points it out, and then he stops responding. So, after a while, the main character goes to his friend's house and sees like a bunch of police there. And if I remember correctly, apparently the kid got like strangled by like a fish. I'm not even, I can't remember exactly because it's been so long since I've seen it, but I remember that really scaring me when I was younger. Like, ugh. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of scary. Imagine a freaking giant, fat, purple cat with weird yellow eyes just coming out of your TV and strangling you to death. Like, yeah, that would definitely be scary. This channel grows 1 year every day. Do you think they're still keeping up with that? Do you think this channel is actually 838 years old? Return of Sonic vs. Darkness. Whatever happened with that game? That was such a good game. Like, genuinely. Did they cancel development? Because if so, that would suck. I know they planned on adding Blaze into the game, which would have been neat to see. I hope it didn't get canceled, but it's possible that it did. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. I actually used to have this game. Like, I got it on Steam because it was free, and I enjoyed it. I got stuck in Shadow's part for a little while, and then after that, I ended up getting stuck on one of Sonic's mini games after he's, found out to be alive and Eggman takes over the train and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, it was a good game. Never finished it though. Don't really ever plan to. I remember kind of like with the house and how I wanted to watch one last video that was like to kind of end off watching the last video in that house. When my dog, this is kind of gonna get depressing, maybe. When my dog Eddie died, I wanted to find the perfect first video. Because I had the perfect last video that I watched when he was alive. Now that he was dead, I wanted to have the first, like, perfect Sonic video. And originally, I was going to do this, like, evolution. Hold on, let me cut the video. I'll kind of explain what I'm talking about better. So, you know those types of videos where they essentially go over, like, the evolution or the history of, like, a character in a game just over the years? I mean, here this is a mod because Sonic was never in the first Super Smash Bros. Game, but still, like, Sonic evolves from how he looked in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and then how he looks in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And it's not even just that, you have, like, other characters and how they've evolved over the years. Anyways, there was this one evolution video that I watched when I was super young, and I think it was like a Sonic speedrunning. Like, it was the fastest to complete a level. And I don't remember much aside from this, like, when it shows Sonic Adventure 2, and the person playing the game does this one glitch where they clip through the ground and they're just constantly falling. Like, you have the skybox, which is just grass, and it's just Sonic falling. And I remember, like, just watching that when I was young, and it just stuck with me for some reason. And when Eddie died, that was the video I wanted to find because I thought it would be the perfect first video to watch after his death. But I couldn't find it anywhere. So either it's been deleted or just, like, it kind of reminds me of the Megalovania fan remix I brought up earlier. It's either been deleted or I just couldn't find it. Like, I didn't look hard enough. But anyways, when I realized that I couldn't find it, I just opted on this video by Game Apologist, how Sega celebrates Christmas. And yeah, I don't remember much about the video because this all happened a while ago, but yeah, go check out the Game Apologist. His content's pretty good. The Minecraft crossover. I always forget that this was a thing. That Minecraft and Sonic had an actual crossover with each other. I remember when it was first announced, I was super excited because around that time I was a huge fan of Sonic and I was starting to get really into Minecraft. So it's perfect timing. And yeah, I was pretty disappointed with it. I never played it because I didn't have any of those mine coins, but yeah, I mainly just knew about it via reviews and such. That was it. And it didn't seem good, so here we got the game apologist's Princess Sally video. I remember when this was his latest upload. Now that's been 5 years ago. Crazy. Half a decade. Oh, Kobermani 456. Honestly, I'm so happy that this guy's in a much better place now. I feel like from 2018 to like 2022, maybe 2023, like his life, I mean, granted, I don't really know much about what happened, so maybe I just shouldn't even be saying anything, but from what I do know, it seems like his life is just not in a good place. But thankfully, it seems like he's doing significantly better now. He's making some neat pulls. My goodness, what is that? Sonic with the freaking one eye? I mean, he does have one eye, but it's like peeled. Why is that peeled? Looks gross. Anyways, yeah, I am genuinely happy that this guy's doing so well. I remember with his Sonic Lost World 2-player local races video. I mean, that was probably my favorite one of his, in all honesty. I don't know why, but there was just something so entertaining about it. Maybe it was because he was playing with a friend and just seeing, like, them talk with each other and while there's, like, fun Sonic gameplay going on in the background. I mean, maybe that had something to do with why I liked it so much, but yeah, good video. Overpowered Sonic was so funny. Just seeing Kobe's reaction to just Sonic going insanely fast. Yeah, that will always be a highlight. I never really watched much of his playthroughs. In fact, actually, I remember back when I was younger, I used to think Kobermani456 and Zach Scott were the same exact people. I don't know why I thought that, but for the longest time, I legit thought that they were the same people. And it wasn't until I watched his Super Mario 3D World playthrough when I actually listened to his voice and then bothered to look at the channel name and realized, oh, they probably aren't the same person. They're probably two completely different people. So, yeah, legit have no clue as to why I thought Zach Scott Games and Kobermani456 were even remotely the same. Like, I really don't know what was going on in my child brain. Did he change the thumbnail for this? Oh no, he definitely did. Yeah, look, Sonic and Mario New Super Mario Bros. Wii Co-op 100% Part 1 literally looks nothing like any of these other thumbnails. Does that mean that Part 1's thumbnail is lost media, or do you think someone has it archived? Either way, that's interesting that you changed it to some random person, or at least I think they're a random person. I actually remember watching this series a lot as well. If I remember correctly, doesn't Sonic turn into like a really weird looking green dude? when he like is low, like when he's like small Mario. Like, hold on, let me just check because I'm pretty sure he does. By the way, it's just occurring to me how long this video is going to be because like already I've probably recorded maybe 20 minutes of footage, possibly even longer, and we're not even halfway. Well, actually no, we are halfway. But like yeah, we still have like several playlists to go. So dang. All right, anyways. Let me just check real quick. Honestly, I might split this video into parts now that I think about it. Because I don't know if... Because think about it. Like, let's say I record myself talking about each playlist. And then... Like, and then I put it all together in KineMaster. And I upload it to YouTube. That's going to take a long time to upload. I think it would just be better if I just had this in parts. So like I call this video reviewing my Sonic playlist, and then maybe next video it's like reviewing... I mean, obviously I won't make a part for each one. Most of them are too short to make a part for. So I think with just the really long ones, they'll be their own individual parts. I don't know. But anyways, let me see if... Does he ever get hurt? He does, yeah, look, he's like this weird little ghost thing. Like, what even is that? It's weird. Very weird. Anywho. Okay, there we go. So, can I get rid of this? I think my internet's being a little wonky. Like, it seems to work sometimes, and then other times it doesn't. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Oh, Unfair Seaside Hill. This was so funny because there's a part in the video where he jumps on a spring, and he's going, like, super high up. And he goes so high up, he goes out of, like, the skybox and into space, pretty much. It's so funny. I love that. I remember it always freaking me out though when I was a kid, just because like, I don't know, just falling from that height. Ugh, yeah, no. We got, what the frick? Oh, this is him playing, yeah, Sonic XL. Very strange thumbnail. Very strange. I'm curious if that's it for like all the ones that I mainly recognize, or if there's any other here. Because most of the rest of this seem to be playthrough. I mean, there is Green Hill Paradise. I remember watching this quite a lot, just seeing him collect all the Chaos and Super Emeralds, going super and hyper. That was pretty entertaining. But aside from that, I don't think there's really much of anything else here that I really have a extreme connection with. There's Sonic.exe Generations Chapter 1. Was there ever a Chapter 2? I don't think so. But if there was, you can let me know. Oh, there is Unleashed. Okay, I do remember this video actually, the Unleashed project. Yeah, so because Sonic Unleashed was never officially ported to PC, and this was before the fans did it. Basically, if you wanted to play Sonic Unleashed on PC, you'd have to get Sonic Generations and get the Unleashed project mod, which just added every daytime stage from Sonic Unleashed into Sonic Generations. And for the time, you know, that was pretty cool, but nowadays, I mean, we literally have, what is it called? I forgot what I'm just going to call it Sonic Unleashed PC port. But yeah, we literally have that now. Like, daytime, nighttime, the hub worlds, everything. So, Yeah, but I did like seeing how he like swapped characters with each level. That was pretty cute. Sorry, that was pretty cool. A Very Merry Christmas with Sonic. I remember watching the Christmas with Sonic stuff, and when I found out that they were going to be doing one for 2020 and it was going to be the last one, that made me very sad. Because the Christmas with Sonic stuff, by that point, had been going on for quite a while, and it was just a good series, at least from what I remember when I binge watched it. Oh my goodness, I have my own video in this playlist rating the official G Fuel Sonic the Hedgehog energy drink. Okay. Do you think we're ever gonna see a movie Hypersonic? Now that I just looked at this video, do you think we're ever gonna see that? I highly doubt it, just because Sega doesn't seem to want any involvement with, like, a form other than Super. But, I don't know, I think it'd be cool if we saw Hyper again, because, you know, you got Sonic Speed, which is what Sonic's name is based off of. There's Supersonic Speed, then you have Hypersonic Speed. And there's Supersonic, so there should be a Hypersonic as well. I just think that would be really cool. I can't believe Kiar or Kyar. I used to watch this person all the time. And yet, like, now I haven't seen a video from them in years. They're pretty cool though. I wonder if they still make Sonic stuff or if they've moved on. Oh yeah, and we got the everything. I remember when the rebooted, like the remade Everything Wrong with Shadow the Hedgehog video came out. And then I watched the original. Like, I saw the remake first, not knowing that it was a remake. And then not too long after, I wanted to watch it again, but I clicked on the original and was severely confused as to, like, why it was so different. And then I found out that it was a remake, so yeah. Another privated video. I'm curious what this could have been. Because with the previous privated video, like, you know, it's most likely Courtney. But, like, here, I have absolutely no idea what it could be. Always sucks when a video is, like, deleted or privated. Because it just makes you wonder, like, what was it? Imagine if, like, most of the videos that you see on the, like, in this video get privated. Like, imagine for some reason, uh, let's see, imagine, like, I don't know, Stone Mountain Beyond here decides to private this video. Well, hey, now you know what the thumbnail and the title looked like if you're now watching this one, so yeah. That's neat, I guess. Mario Generations? I do remember Mario Generations. I was kind of sad when Mario was like, when classic Mario wasn't the brown overalled one. At least I don't think he was. But yeah, I remember watching this as a kid and being like, oh, that's what they should have done. Should have made him have the brown overalls. Or no, he wears red overalls, but he has a brown shirt, right? Yeah. Friendly competition. I remember this video. Man, 58 million views. That's crazy. I mean, deserved though. This was such a neat animation. If I remember correctly, wasn't it Mario who won? Or was it Classic Sonic? Because I remember watching the video, and I always thought that it was Mario who won. But then I think I remember rewatching it several years later and finding out that Classic Sonic won. But now I'm not sure, so we're gonna see for ourselves. Do you think the person who made this is still around? Mario vs. Sonic in a race reanimated. I remember the original video. Sadly, it ended up getting like YouTube Kids status, meaning that you couldn't like see comments or comment yourself, which really sucks. But I remember before that happened, because at the end of the video it's like who won, Mario or Sonic, and most of the people were saying Sonic won. So yeah, but let's see who wins in this race specifically. We got Mario. Oh, hold up. Go back. So I guess Mario did win. And he just breaks out. Well, I mean, he jumps really high in the air and then dances. Okay. So yeah, I don't know why, because like when I was younger I thought Mario won, and then I guess I just for some reason thought Classic Sonic won, even though clearly younger me was right. Mario does win. Oh yeah, here's the original Mario and Sonic have a race, the one that I was talking about earlier. Are the comments still like YouTube Kids, or can we actually see them now? I think he changed his username. I don't think it had animations before. I think it was just Scout the Dog 1. But I might be wrong. I'm curious as to how long this video is. Not like the video we're watching, I'm talking about the video I'm recording. Because currently, on the footage that I'm currently recording, I'm 16 minutes and 27 seconds in, so... yeah. Mario and Sonic have a race. Yeah, comments are turned off. But back when they were turned on, people were saying Sonic won, so... because he was faster or something. Which I can agree with. Also, I hate that mini players offer videos that are meant for kids. I don't even understand that. Like, the comments I can understand because you don't want kids talking to, like, random people online. But the mini player, how is your child gonna possibly be harmed from just the mini player? Like, you're telling me while I'm watching a video, I can't look at other videos? Like, really? That's stupid. Also, was part 1 of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric deleted, or did I just never add it to the playlist? Because I have, like, part 2 through 8 here, but nothing else. Very weird, I must say. Is this... I remember Final Fantasy. I remember watching this video all the time. I don't know if it was this one though. I think it was like hard mode. Unless they play on hard mode in this video, I'm not sure. I've never actually, well, I have played Final Fantasy Sonic, but I don't think I ever played this one specifically. Privated videos. If I had to take a guess, maybe they're Lucas RPDJ related, but I don't know. You're Too Slow. This one isn't even really Sonic related, like this song. I mean, yeah, it uses Sonic voice clips. But, like, I don't know. I personally wouldn't consider this a Sonic song. I guess back then I did because, well, it's in the playlist. Trinity. I remember, this song is so catchy, though. Like, honestly, I love this song. I remember listening to it all the time. And then that's it. That's the end of the playlist. Shadow as John Wick was the last video that I added to this Sonic playlist. Before that, Dark Sonic vs. Boyfriend, which, I kid you not, kind of a cool fight. But anyways, yeah. Not gonna lie, I would actually love to see like Shadow performing Gun Fu in the games. That would be just cool. Like he's actually like John Wick. But anyways, yeah, so that's it for this playlist. I don't really have much else to say. You know, I talked about all the videos that I thought were cool to talk about. You know, I talked about why I even made this video in the first place. Talked about the description. Yeah, I guess that's really it. So, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you later. Bye.